In this video, we're going to go over everything there is to master Nuclear Nightmare. Whether you're a new player or you suck ass and your games go like this.
Turn it off. Get in and turn it off.
Canadian Army.
Oh, bye-bye. Oh, no.
He's gonna die. Oh god, there's a Mandingo.
I got it.
He's dead. Mad Dog's dead.
Oh my god. No.
Hey, I'll die.
Oh my god, no.
Where's Canadian Army going?
He crashed and died. Oh god,
The Shadow's gonna die now.
Who's gonna die? Oh no.
We fail.
The first thing you're going to want to do is go to options. Here are the settings that I use. A lot of them are personal preference and depend on your system, but let me show you a little trick. If you set your shadow quality to either medium or low, it greatly improves visibility, but takes away from the immersive atmosphere.
Whoa! It's all so real! This is amazing! It's like I'm there!
You can also find a tutorial in options. I'd recommend you do it so you can learn the basics of driving a snowmobile, fueling it, and then flying a helicopter. A lot of the default volumes are way too loud. Here's mine to use as an example, but I would wait until you're in a game so you can adjust them to your preference. There's been a lot of people with mic issues in lobbies, so make sure your microphone input is set to the microphone that you want to use in the game settings and in your Windows sound settings. In customization, you'll find cosmetics, emotes, and perks. There's no battle pass or DLCs. Everything that you can unlock is done so with in-game points that you get for completing objectives and escaping. Nice, right? The perk system is incredibly useful in-game. It has D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier. A lot of them have their plus and minuses. I have a few that I like. The good news is once you complete and buy them all, you can sell all the ones that you don't want. That'll ensure that you'll have the perk that you want in the game. In order to activate the perks in game, you have to find these soda machines. You walk up to it and you have 3 chances to roll one that you want. You can either ignore, roll again, or equip the perk. Shit. I'll show you guys the perks that I use, but by far the most useful one for new players is Hardcore Survivor. It gives you double points and XP. Classified Collector gives you triple XP for each objective that you complete, so pair that with Hardcore Survivor. Nightmare Detector feels like cheating because it's literally wall hacks. I mean, look at this shit. I love it. The last perk that I use is GPS Navigator. You're able to see where all of your teammates are on the map, even the dead infected ones that like to sneak up on you. All of these perks are extremely useful in certain circumstances. Just make sure that you know the downsides to them.
It's turbo
Oh shit!
Damn it. And I died. No.
The world settings are pretty straightforward. The only ones that I've seen cause confusion is airborne infections and infection masses. Airborne happens when the monster's in proximity to you, and infection masses are these big blobs with tentacles that come out of the ground. Both of these really help with the research center quest. The lobby timer is how long it takes for the game to auto start. The host can automatically start the game whenever he wants though. The difficulty scale determines the monster's health, damage, and frequency they spawn. And in the nightmare difficulty, monsters spawn in the daytime. In the classified minimum difficulty determines how many objectives you have to reach until you can call for exfil. The night-day cycle is exactly that. How long the days are going to be or how long the nights are going to be. Item spawn probability determines how many items are going to be in a game. And the nuke timer determines how long you have until they drop the bomb. If you're new or just trying to grind points, these are the settings that I would use. They make a game a bit easier, but it gives you the full experience and prevents griefers from fucking with you when you're trying to learn. So now that the boring stuff's out of the way, let's jump in a game. Alright, this is the lobby. This is where everybody says colorful language and listen to kids shriek on the mic.
You know what? I'm about to say it.
Say it.
You can also dance. You press 6. Or whistle. You press 8. Alright, yeah, look at that. Neat, huh? Alright, let's spawn in. Just a warning, when you're in this loading screen, you can still move around. But don't mash your WASD buttons or you'll end up at the bottom of the drilling rig like I did. You have to wait till you die. What you should do instead is wait until this screen pops up to show you your location, and then press M to open your map so you can see what objective you need to complete at your current location, and mark the waypoints around you. You'll now be able to see your marked locations, and they'll look like this. Every objective location has a path connecting them with these lit guide poles and clearly marked signs. If you stick to the lit path and don't venture too far off from them, you won't get lost and stuck out in the cold. We'll get into a more detailed guide on all the objectives later. And unless you unchecked the nuke timer box, that clock is ticking down and that bomb will drop, and this is what it looks like. Hey, I got 10 points. Participation trophy. Now, if you want to avoid that, you need to make sure you find this computer. It's at every objective location on the map, and with it, you'll be able to check the nuke timer, call for the extraction, or get a status report of your team to see who's alive and who's infected. You'll also be able to revive dead teammates if they weren't infected. Next, we'll talk about temperature and shelter. If you get cold enough, you will get frostbite and you will die. You can see your temperature at the top left of your screen. For some reason, the max is 70 degrees Fahrenheit and not 98.6. Don't know why. In order to raise your temperature, we have to find the generator at objective locations and turn it on. Don't forget you can move around and look behind your back when you're turning this on. Now that it's on, go inside and start to warm up. Over time, generators will turn themselves off, or monsters can actually turn them off too. If you stay inside, your temperature won't drop even if the generator's off. If you're inside a building when the generator goes off, you can still use the perk machine and complete the objectives. And if the generator's off and the doors are locked, you can just kick them open like the fucking Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
But be careful, because anytime a generator is turned on, the trip mines inside the buildings are activated. And when you turn the generator back on, even if you deactivated some trip mines, they'll reactivate.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Sometimes you'll spawn in at objective locations and there will not be any snowmobiles or a helicopter there. That means you're going to have to run for it. But honestly, there's nothing wrong with meat rockets. Before you leave any location, make sure your temperature is high enough to make it to the next destination. A lot of people don't know this, but you can actually sprint while crouched. All you have to do is just sprint and then press the crouch button. And it'll look like you're ice skating through the Arctic. I don't think it's any faster than running normally or quieter, but it seems like it. But hey, placebo effect. Next, we'll talk about transportation. If you did the tutorial, you'll know that you can fill up your vehicles with a jerry can. But there's also gas stations along the map. You can even fill up your flamethrowers and jerry cans there. You'll know the vehicle's full when the fuel gauge says fuel. Duh. You can also drive vehicles in third person if you press tab. I typically use my snowmobile to do this. Hell yeah, dude. You can also pretty much go up vertical surfaces. Like so. And man, they can take a beating.
I didn't hear no bell.
They'll eventually break over time, and they can get stuck, and they will flip, so just be careful on that.
Oh no. I don't think we're winning this one.
And always remember, come to a complete stop before you get off, because it'll keep going and going.
Okay, bye.
The cool thing is, if you jump off all the snowmobiles in reverse, you won't take any damage. The helicopters can be extremely useful for getting the point to point on the map, but if you're a new pilot or if you've never flown before in a game, you're gonna crash. If you've flown them in other games like Arma, then it'll be extremely easy. Just pay attention to the flight instruments. You'll need to be in first person to view the instrument panel. You can practice flying in the tutorial, but there are helicopters in the game at random helipads throughout the map. If they're hanging off the helipad, they're glitched and it'll just blow up when you try to fly them. You can also jump out of a helicopter if something goes wrong. You just have to time it right, so right before the helicopter hits the ground, you jump out.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Oh no, out of fuel.
Oop, too early. Get back in. And now. Yeah.
It's impossible for a human to survive that crash.
This will come in handy because there's two things in this game that'll crash a helicopter. One we'll get to a little bit later. The other one is a UFO. If you get within its range, it'll shoot an EMP at you and drive you to the ground. You can still recover from this or jump out before you hit the ground. I personally love the dog mechanics in this game. They offer an early warning system if there's monsters nearby. But just like in real life, if you try to go up and touch a strange dog, it might bite you. In order to tame the dogs, you need to give it bacon for some reason. I guess everybody likes bacon. After you tame a dog, you'll be able to use this menu. By default, the dog will be in follow mode and will follow you across the map. It can also be used to find items. Nice. The sit command lets you guys have a rest and hide from the monsters together. Aww. I recommend you use guard mode whenever you enter a building, because dogs can follow you inside and blow you up through the trip mines.
Tripwire, tripwire.
All tamed dog locations will be marked on the map with this icon. You can tell where other players are because of it. Loud noises can cause the dog to run off, and when they come back, they could be infected. More on that later. Now, let's move on to monsters. There's currently 11 monsters in the game. And when you hear this music, that means a monster is spawned in and it's close. First, we'll start with the Leech.
I'm a snake.
It's the only monster that spawns during normal difficulty during the daytime. You'll notice them slithering around in the snow, and you'll hear this distinct noise when they're around. You're safe from their attack if you stand behind them or if you're on a snowmobile. However, if you get in front of them, the only way to defend yourself against Leech attack is with a pickaxe. The next one is the Meek.
Oh God! Oh!
Its appearance is similar to the mythological creature, the Wendigo. The name is true though. It is one of the more passive monsters, but it'll still attack you. Next on the list is the Watcher. Just like the name suggests, it'll spy on you for a little bit and then stumble around in the dark like a drunk uncle. When aggroed, he has a unique attack. He'll charge at you, knock you down, and take whatever items in your hand, and then run away.
Thank you. Wait, is it dead? Okay.
Next up is the Husk.
Oh.
What is that, a pig bear man?
No, stupid. It's man bear pig.
Out of all the monsters you'll come across, this is by far the most confusing behavior. They're built like a giant bear, and they just kind of skitter around in circles. No telling who they're going to attack either. Watch.
Somebody's got to get hit, right?
I'll take the hit. Okay.
Who's it attacking? Oh.
So yeah, they're basically bumblebees. And now for the hardest monster you'll encounter, the Psychos. You can easily identify them. They have 2 heads, real high HP, and it seems like they're immune to fire. If you come across one without a shotgun, good luck.
Ow! On fire! Hey!
Burn, you big bitch, burn! You killed my wife, you son of a bitch! never forgive you. Oh, God damn it, I'm dead.
Oh my god.
And now, the Grooling. Everyone calls them head crabs, though. These pop out of the monster's body as soon as they die. If you're standing within a close enough proximity, they can infect you right away, and it's an insta-kill. These little bastards do not die from fire, so just stay away from them, or snipe them. Since we just finished head crabs, we'll move on to player-infected monsters. These are the non-playable kind. They will lock onto another player and run to the farthest edges of the map until they reach that person. They're like Forrest Gump, running through the Arctic.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
Once they catch up to another player, they're pretty sneaky. They pretty much one-hit you, and then you'll explode and turn into one too. Next are player-controlled monsters. Unless the game setting says that you're always going to have a player-controlled monster, this is up to chance. First, it'll start off as a head crab, and it has to get away from another player's proximity, then it can mutate into its final form. You can tell it's a player-controlled one because it'll have their name played over top of them. These encounters can be the absolute funniest, because you can also talk on voice chat while you're a monster.
Oh my god, he's dead. Oh my god, he's gonna die.
Oh, I hop,
Where are you? What?
I hop on either way.
I don't know where we are. I don't know.
Hey, are you a person?
Can I talk to you?
Yes.
Can I
Oh,
talk
you
to
can
you?
talk
Yeah, you
to us.
can.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
it's
I won't kill you then. Okay.
Thank you.
so,
I'm sorry,
I don't know
sorry
how to
for
say
hitting
this,
you
but
with
the monster
this
is
axe
coming.
thing.
Alright, so, here, come back in here.
Next is the Stalker. You can identify them by their shriek, like this. And then they'll rush to attack you. By far the scariest. Alright, we're down to the last two. Remember earlier when I said whenever you shoot guns around a dog, they'll run off? Well, there's a chance that when it runs off, or if it goes and attacks a monster, it can become infected. So if it comes back after being gone for a little bit, chances are that it's infected. Just be careful.
Yes! Yes! I got the guard dog achievement. Oh god, here's a creature.
Didn't touch the dog. Oh no, look at him.
And now for my favorite, the giant worm. Although the official name seems to be Wormbo, so let's go with that. But I like to call him.
An Alaskan bullworm!
His diet consists of mainly helicopters, and if you're flying around in one and you hear this sound, good luck.
I have instruments.
Oh shit, the worm got us.
Let's see what that looks like when it happens to somebody else, shall we?
Whoa.
Holy
Dude,
fucking god.
he got f***ed up by that.
Now that we're finished with monsters, let's talk about infection. Excluding the Groolings because it is a one-hit kill, anytime you are hit by a monster, there's a chance that you can become infected. It's not always a bad thing to get infected because it's a requirement for the research center objective. You or your teammates can test yourselves at various locations on the map at testing stations, and unless you turn the setting off in the game options, the whole lobby can see the status. Just remember when you test yourself, you'll take damage. This is what it looks like when you're not infected. And this is what it looks like when you are infected. Once you are infected, the timer starts at 5 minutes until you turn into a monster. If you're hit again and the chance rolls to become infected again, then you have less time. There's no way to check and see how much time you actually have. You can cure yourself from infection with a vaccine. You can call dead players back into the game with the reinforcement system. You need to go to one of the main computers that we talked about earlier, and if there are any players available to be called back, it will give you the option. It used to be different, but now they have a reinforcement system based on tokens. The amount of tokens you get is directly tied to the classified minimum difficulty level, Before the reinforcement system even becomes available to use, you must complete at least one classified objective. This means that the guy that immediately blew himself up on a trip mine, he'll have to wait. Once you use up all of your tokens, then you won't be able to bring anyone back. Here's how the classified material difficulty correlates to the amount of tokens that you get per game. The players that come back will respawn at the location that you called them, to the nearest helipad. You are only supposed to be able to call back players that have not been infected. Unfortunately, there's currently bugs with the reinforcement system, so it's preventing players that should be able to respawn and allowing players that shouldn't. You can also check the status of your teammates on the same computer. If a player says alive but compromised, then they're a non-playable, infected survivor wandering the map heading to you or one of your teammates. Watch out. Now let's talk about the game's weapons. The flamethrower has a slow kill speed compared to the other weapons, but it's probably the most sustainable because you can refuel it at any gas station. It'll also have unlimited use if you shoot it in 3-second bursts. Be careful using it around other teammates and don't walk into your own fire. The grenade can be a great weapon in the hands of a skilled player. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. Make sure you follow through with your throw and don't change directions with your mouse when you're throwing. The flare gun can be used as a last-ditch effort weapon. From what I've tested, you can one-hit monsters, except for Groolings and Psychos on normal difficulties. The pickaxe is a great tool to bust down locked doors, and as you saw earlier, you can defend yourself against leech attacks. Just so you know, you can't knock leeches off of your teammates' faces.
What the hell?
You okay?
No, I'm dead.
The revolver is a great weapon to use if you can land the headshots. It has the capacity to hold 6 .357 Magnum rounds with a decent fire rate. It has great groupings and reload speed. Unfortunately, if you don't hit the headshot, then you'll have to shoot the monster multiple times. The hunting rifles are by far one of the most powerful weapons in the game because it can one-hit kill any monster. It holds 4 7mm rounds and has a magnified optic. But the downside is the rate of fire, the slow aim down sight speed, and the recoil animation takes a while to get back on target. In my opinion, the shotgun is the most powerful weapon in the game. It can one-hit any monster at close range.
What?
It can hold 6 12-gauge buckshot shells. It has a fast rate of fire. The spread can be pretty random, and there's no aim down sights. It's all hip fire. Alright, now we're going to finish this video out by going through every single objective. I'm going to go ahead and make chapters so you can just click on the one that you need and use it as a quick reference. In order to complete base camp 1 or 2, you have to turn the satellites on first. So let's head to the satellite so we can activate it. Once you arrive at the satellite, head into one of the 2 shacks. You activate the panels. Now head up the tower and activate the last switch. Now that the satellite's connected, head back to one of the base camps. Once you arrive at base camp 1, head underneath the main building. Go to these oil containers. The generator will be behind them. The computer that you need to upload the documents at are in the secondary building inside of this room. Click on the Husk folder. Upload the satellite. And you're done. Return to the main building. You want to head upstairs to the top floor. There you'll find the perk machine. Once you arrive at base camp 2, head down the hill and turn on the generator. Now that the generator is on, walk to the main rectangular building, go to the main computer, and click on this folder. Now click Upload to Satellite. And that's it. Don't forget to grab you a perk out of the soda machine. When you arrive at the oil plant, keep going until you see this gate. From here you'll have to go to these 3 oil containers and turn on and photograph the panels like this. And that's it. Once you arrive at the airport, ping. Head to the hangars. You're going to walk up to the drones and prepare them for upload. The one in the middle. There's number 2. And number 3. Once the drones are prepared, head to the side of the hangar, and you'll find the generator. Turn the generator on, then you're going to head up the hill. To this rectangular building. Once inside, go to the back room. Click the drone application and generate the report. Once the report is ready, print it and you're done. Don't forget to walk to the front room and grab your perk. Once you arrive at the MedBay, head to the generator. Then you're going to go in one of these 3 tents and find the vaccine. But you'll find a long syringe, glowing green. And all you have to do is pick it up. And you're done. Once you arrive at the drilling rig, walk down the hill to one of the 2 drilling pits. Find a console that looks like this, and you'll activate the drill. Now you can head to the other side. Drill number 2 is a bit dangerous. The hill's pretty steep. Activate the second drill. And then head back to the drilling rig, ping. Once there, you're going to head northeast, up this hill. And you'll find the generator. Once the generator is turned on, walk to this north building. And open this door. The computer will be right here as soon as you walk in to your right. Start the drilling application. Generate the report. Print the report. And you're done. Once at the research center, head down underneath the helipad and turn on the generator. Head into one of the 3 buildings and find the MRI machine. You have to be infected. You lay down and get scanned. And that's it. Don't forget to head upstairs. And in the last building, you'll find your perk machine. Once you arrive at the slaughterhouse, head to the southwest corner of this building and turn on the generator. Once the generator is on, head inside. You want to make your way to this back room, and you're going to photograph the meat. 2, 3, 4. If you go through this end door and turn right, you'll find a perk machine. Now to finish this, head outside, and then walk to the building to your right. Head upstairs, and then you'll find the last place you need to photograph. And that's it. Once you arrive at the underground silo, walk inside this building and turn on the generator. Once the generator is on, make your way into the bowels of hell down the endless staircase. Once at the bottom, go right, and you'll find the missile. Right next to it is a perk machine. Go ahead and grab yourself a perk. And then run down to the other side. Once you get to the end, walk up to one of these towers and take a picture. Head down this staircase and take a picture of the other tower. And turn to your left. Then one more. And that's it. Alright. For the shelter, you have to photograph an organism. Which one, you ask? This one. It's a giant worm and you can't miss it. Just walk up to it. When you get the prompt, photograph. 2, 3, and 4. And it's that easy. You finally made it. You got all the objectives done and you're ready to extract, right? No, you're not. When you call for an extraction, you're only calling it for your location. That means if a guy was over on the other side of the map doing objectives, he won't have enough time to make it to you and he'll fail that game. So go on the computer and click the status report button and see who's alive. If there's players out there, you have to signal to them your location. So how can you do that? Well, there's a few ways you can tell other players where you're at. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, the perk GPS Navigator is the best way. But if you have a dog, other players will be able to see your location on the map from the dog icon. You can also drop a flare, which will appear on the map as well, or you can activate a generator and it'll say your location. Hell, even testing yourself at an infection testing station will tell them that you're at least alive and not start the evacuation. Once you are all together, you can call for the evacuation helicopter. It'll mark a helipad at your location that you need to meet your team in order to exfil. Timer starts at 2 minutes. This is also where griefers that have been playing the long con will try to team kill you and other players. Be on alert for them and monsters.
I told you.
Oh, there he is. I'll get him.
Alright, no one kill. You gotta survive. Don't kill. Oh, you stupid idiot, man. Now
What a moron. Once all teammates are in the circle, you exfilled. Congratulations. Oh yeah, look at all them points. By the way, BW was the team killer. Thanks so much for watching. This took so long to make. Hopefully it helps somebody. I really love this game and I want to see it do well. If you ever need help, hit me up. My public lobbies is the Alaskan Bullworm Hunters. See ya.